So today we are going to see how we can work with search components in UI Builder. So to start with, we are going to start with the very basic component that we have that you can add in your header. Let me use search input here. Yeah. So this component you can use in your header as well, or in your like in hero image, like you see on portals. So search input, yeah. So this component has very few properties, and it is really easy to work with. For example, the first one is search term, the term that we want to search on. Let's use a simple static value for now, like test. And then is this search configuration. So this configuration you can create your own as well, or you can choose something which is out of the box. It's totally up to your choice. So this is where you tell this configuration that, hey, this is the sources that I want to search on. So all that you can configure here, and make sure you have AI search enabled on your platform, because that's how it works. For now, we are going to use something which is available out of the box. Maybe let's use the CSM one. Okay. And the placeholder is there, the placement body or header. This just tells where you want to place it, and based on that, changes its size and everything. Okay. Now, what we want to do is, whenever we are searching this term, like right now, all this have like static values. Let me open this in a new tab and see how it looks like. Yeah, you see, whenever you're searching anything, you are getting the results right here. You can click on these, and based on this click, we'll do some actions. Okay. Right now, it won't. It doesn't do anything when you click on these links. Let's configure that thing. Okay. Now, first of all, the search term, we want to make it like dynamic. Whenever user enters any search input, we want to execute search based on that, right? So what I'm going to do is I am going to create this search term, client state parameter that I have here, string type, initial value, I have set it to test. Maybe you can remove this initial value as well if you want. Let me bind this one with my state parameter. Okay, now whenever the search is executed, I want to update my parameter, the search term, to what user entered, right? So I'm going to use payload dot search term. So this is the property that I get in this event payload search term. That's what I'm going to use. How I found it, like if you want to find it, what is the data that your event is triggering? So this, you see, I have a log script right here, right? So you can log the event data, whatever the data event is sending. And for example, for search executed, if I add this script here like this, let me refresh quickly. Console, yeah. So if I say here incident, right? So, and I execute this search, you would see this event data here, right? So I have in payload, I have search term. So this is where that term is getting stored, incident, right? You may choose not to store as well in a client state parameter. Why I did it, because next we are going to work on that search results component, and I want to use the same search box for that component also. So I store that search term in a parameter, and based on that, I execute the search on the search results component as well. But yeah, you can work without it as well, without search, without storing it into a client state parameter. Now, what I want to do is, whenever there is any search result, I want the user to click on that, and they should go on that record, right? The search record. So we'll use this event suggestion item clicked, and let's see what data we are getting in again in this component. Based on that, we'll see how we want to handle that data. Okay, let me use the same term incident, and if I click on here, I have the event data here. Let's get it into a tab here. Yeah. So in the payload, I have this action payload property, and inside I have table and sys and record URL as well. Now, you may choose to use this record URL directly, right, and route the user, which will take them out of the workspace, right, when you click on the search result. Or what you can do is you can use this table and sys and we can route them to the record page so that they remain within the workspace, right? Out of the box behavior you'll see in some of the workspaces while searching, they use this record URL, and whenever you click on any search result, it takes you to the new tab outside of the workspace. We won't do that, so we'll use the table and sys here, and we'll keep the user inside the workspace. So the suggestion item clicked. Let's link to the destination pages, and okay, I don't have the record page here. So what we can do is because this is a custom workspace that I created, let me quickly add record page in my workspace. Yeah. Pages, create a page. So with the template, it's pretty easy to add record page inside your workspace. Standard record. Yeah, let's use this one. Maybe call it record only. Continue. Yeah, these are the parameter default. All good. Okay, the page is created now. So let's link to the destination. And okay, I think I have to refresh it once. Go event handler mission record page. Yeah, so now we want to pass it the table and sys id. So we know that I had table and sys id inside payload dot action data. It was action data, right? Action payload it is, sorry. Action payload dot table, and then I had sys id as well. Okay, let's try it now. Incident, and let's open this one. There you go, it is opening. It is not opening in a new tab here, just because this is a very custom workspace created without App Engine Studio, and the tabs UX property is not yet enabled on this particular workspace. Okay, but in ideal scenario, in your workspace, if you're using App Engine Studio, it should take care of that UX property, UX page property itself by itself, and it will open in a new tab. Anyways, so we achieved what we wanted. Um, so this is all about the search component, search input component that we have in UIB. Now, what if you want to give the input, take the input from the user, and then show the search results, right here. So let's use another component here that we have search results. This one. Yeah. So this search results component, it takes a few properties here. Now, before we can work with this component, what we have to do is we have to create a data source, use that data source to fetch the results from the platform, and then those results are shown here. Okay. Now, for this, we have this search event data resource. Let me add this again here. So this data source you get out of the box. Okay. There are a few inputs that we have to give this data source. First is evam config ID here. So this is something that defines what would be shown in your search result. That is one thing that I have noted down so far. In this one, I'm yet to dig very deep in this particular configuration, but yeah, what you want to show in your search result, because it shows in a card type of views, so you can define it here. I'll provide the table name as well where this is configured. For now, what we're going to use is we're going to use something which is out of the box. AI search for next search. Let's use this one. And then again, search context config ID. This is something that we used here as well in search input component. This one, we can use the same search config ID or search config, or you can again like create your own as well. Let me use this one, or maybe I think there is another out of the box as well. Yeah, let's use this one. So this defines your search sources where you want to search. It's all part of AI search. You may explore more if you want on this one. And then there is this search term, again, what we are searching on. If you want to test this one quickly, just provide any search term and you will see the results here itself, like the data, the output data that we are getting from this data source. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bind it with the search term state parameter that I have. Now, whatever user inputs here, if they click on like search, then we'll get all the results here down in the search results component. Okay, this is all set. There are a few other properties as well. We'll use some of them, maybe pagination token in this particular video. Okay, now it's time to bind this this output to our data source. Sorry, to our component here. Search results metadata. Let's use this one first. Data dot now search metadata dot search result metadata. So this is where you have to bind it. So this everything in this one is coming from this data source, search metadata, and inside this you have search results metadata property. Now genius results as well, you can use the same way, data dot search event data source, genius results templates, and search results again the same way, dot search results templates. Okay. Search config ID, let's use the same that we used in our data source. There you go. Now we have this bind with our data source as well. Maybe just let's give it a try how it is working right now. Maybe incident, and let me on search. Okay, it is not working. My data source is immediately triggered whenever it is triggered. Okay. Now experience search configuration, this is correct. Let's see, so the problem must be here somewhere. Okay, okay, there it is. So it is actually search term. Let's apply this, save this, and test our page again. Go incident, here it is. So now the search is working. The next would be the pagination, right? Because it is possible that there are multiple results returned in our search, and so we want to navigate to the next set of results as well. That's what we will be doing now. Let's go here this component and add an event mapping so that whenever is pagination button clicked. So what we will be doing is, let's create a pagination token state parameter first. Okay. And this parameter will bind to our data source. Right here we have this option, pagination token. Yeah. Now all we have to do is set the value of this pagination token, right? So the data source would trigger again and the results are going to refresh them. So whenever this button is clicked, we will update that state parameter, pagination token, and we will use payload dot, uh, do we have, so we have this pagination token available here. I'm not sure why it is not showing here in the choices. Or maybe let's do one thing, let's log to see what is the data that we are getting whenever we are clicking that pagination. Okay, let's refresh again. Incident and console as well. Okay, here you go. So yeah. So inside the payload we have pagination token right here. Yep. So our mapping here is correct. So inside the payload, we will map pagination token to the state parameter, and then it should refresh it. Let's try. And it is working as well. Yep. Let's try case here. Yeah. So the next set of results is coming. Pagination token is done. Let me see if there is anything left. We used pagination. Yeah. Now what we want to do is, like, on click of this result, we want to open these records as well, right? So again, let's see what is the data that we are getting whenever this card is clicked. Log, save, refresh. Inspect. Yeah, a lot of data here. Let's copy. Okay. So inside the payload, I'm having some metadata as well about the record, and then I have table and ID as well. So, and I have navigation URL also. So what I can do is, either I can open this record on like in a new tab on the core UI view, right? I'll just open this URL that I'm getting here inside navigation URL property. Or what I can do is, I can use this sysID and table also to open it in a workspace itself or in the record page, right? So totally our choice what we want to do with this data. And I see that we have the same kind of data inside action property as well. Inside action, we have action payload and then table and sysID and URL, all three at one place. So earlier we used table and sysID and our out of the box record page, sorry, the workspace record page to open that record. So let's use the URL instead this time. Here, so what we want to do is, let's do it through a client script this time. Navigate. So I am going to trigger the same event nav item selected. So if you are wondering from where this nav item selected is coming, so this is the event name, backend event name for this link to destination event, and I'm triggering the same event through my client script. And
This time I'm using external URL here. So let me correct the path. So it was at event payload action payload dot URL, right? Here. And let me save it this time, and now all I have to do is trigger that client script from here. Whenever the result card is clicked, navigate, let's see. Let's click this one. Yeah, here you go. So this is how you can deal with the records. So if there are different type of records here, like for example, if there is a knowledge article, you can handle that in your client script. Like if the type is knowledge, the table is knowledge article, then you can route to the knowledge view page, and however you want to handle that event. So that's all. If you have any questions about anything that we have seen in this video, please drop a comment or let me know. I would like to answer those questions. Thank you so much.